Engagement ring setup 1. In this setup, the under wires and things in here, the scrolls and the star and the scroll, do not move with the finger size as they do in the auto orient scale ring engagement ring. So this one you will have to go in manually and move these parts around and scale them and adjust them based on the finger size. As you can see, when I go to size 13, they're all missing in here. They all need to be adjusted and moved and scaled up by hand. Right now it's set for a size 7. You might get away with a size 9, right? But even in a size 9, it's needs to be lengthened here and changed a bit here. So we're going to stick with a size 7 for now. And first thing we do is trim the curve. We have the top half of the shank here. We're capping. And this top half is based on the trim curve. Let's follow it to the end and let's see which one it is. Okay, so this makes these two parts in there. And there's the beading. Okay, so this section in here makes the beading for these areas here and in here. The beauty of following it backwards from the source is you get to see what's really going on. Okay, there's the parts, and we mirrored it. There's the profile curve we're using for the sweep 1. And I assume this is, yeah, we have a trim curve here that we've mirrored to the opposite side, to the XY plane, that gives the top half of the curve that we're using for the sweep. We're adding the caps. Okay. Now we also are using this arc gallery here that we created here and pulling it into this sweep 1 and creating the components there. So let's turn this on, but let's take the color, give it a custom color, and so we know exactly what's what. Okay, so let's give this a custom color too. And that's this rail, the top rail, and the bottom rail. And you can see where they're coming from. Let's turn this off. There's the top piece. Top half of the shank. Adjusting a subcurve. Profile sweep. Top half. Now we're taking that top half. We're getting a subcurve off, a curve off there, off the surface to create this curve here to align the gemstones with, and then we're mirroring them to the opposite side, the claws. We can turn these claws into a custom color. Let's pick a different custom color. Red. And then these are the gemstones. Let's make them ruby red too. Okay. Now what do we have here? Yellow. Okay. So this is the area we adjust all the parts. We have the curls, the stars, and the gemstones. Let's take everything here and turn it off. Okay. Okay, we want these. So the fancy curl is being created in this space here. So that's this curl here. We're extending the curve. We're putting a box around the curve. We're finding the center of that curve. We're using a vector to move it to the center. So we have it over here, but we need to move it into center. Once we have it in center, we're using a pipe, the curve, to create this pipe. Then we're using orient to ring top to move it to the ring top. So let's turn this off. So we're moving it to the ring top, and then we're mirroring it to the four sides. So it starts off as a curve, gets moved to the center, then gets moved to the ring top, and then changed around, oriented. So technically, you would come in this line to move it where you want, manually, as we discussed. You'd have to manually come and move it, which you can do. And you might have to scale it up a little bit too, which you can do too. So you can scale in the X, Y, or Z to make it adjust and fit. So that's that portion there. Now we have another one, which is the gemstones here. And we can see it, there's the stars. And where did we start? We started with a star maker. So technically we can go to 6 points, 4 points, whatever we want, number of points. And we could change the shape of the outer diameter. We can change the inner diameter. And that brings us out there. Now we have another one here. There's the gemstone. And what do we have here? The other curl. And the final sweeps there. So they're all basically the same. All Grasshopper AJ components have been organized in groups like this. So each part has an individual group so that you can follow it through what the logic is for that group. So this group is that. So this whole group works with that. This group works with the star. This group works with the thing, and then this group is all the small pieces that are underneath this ring. So it's easy to take a look at a definition and follow it backwards. Turn the color coordinates off, right? Like here. Turn them off. Turn them on. Once you've figured out where you're going and what you want to see. And that you can see how everything is built. It looks like a big mess, but if you organize things in this fashion and manner, you can easily understand what you made and how you made it. Because 9 times out of 10, some of these people come up with these beautiful algorithms, but it's a spider web trying to follow what's going on. Keep it organized. And when you do the organization, we have it in the displays, the groupings, so that you can group by white colors, so it's not like a patchwork of colors. Keep it simple. Keep it organized. Go from the left to right, top to bottom. So at left to right is the start of the piece, the finished end of the piece. Top to bottom is the stacking of the individual pieces. Thank you for watching.